no such directive had been issued. In a separate development, the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has presented a budget estimate of 4.237 trillion naira for the year 2026. Submitting the 2026 budget on Tuesday to the Lagos State House of Assembly for approval, Sanwo-Olu described it as a bold and forward-looking financial plan aimed at consolidating his administration's legacy in its final full year. According to the governor, the budget projects a total revenue of 3,933,774,552,141 naira, supported by internally generated revenue of 3,119,774,552,141 naira and federal transfers of 874 billion naira. He explained that this revenue projection leaves a deficit financing requirement of 240 billion 332,457,167 naira. Meanwhile, Sanwo-Olu told lawmakers that capital expenditure for 2026 is proposed at 2,185,085,495 naira, while recurrent expenditure is estimated at 2,052,589,812 naira. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Minor has presented a 1.39 trillion naira appropriation bill for 2026 to the State House of Assembly for consideration and approval, while describing it as the people's budget of expansion and growth. Presenting the budget on the floor of the Assembly, the governor proposed a 1.39 trillion naira budget as against the approved revised provision of 1,650 billion naira only of 2025, representing a decrease of 16% from the 2025 revised budget. The 2026 budget is made of 354.867 billion naira for recurrent expenditure and 1,035 trillion naira for capital expenditure. Governor Eno highlighted remarkable progress across the Arise agenda, including support to over 69,000 farmers, the ongoing palm crop revolution, model schools, healthcare upgrades, and extensive infrastructure development. The governor noted that more than 900 kilometers of roads are currently under construction statewide, with none abandoned, alongside improved security, water projects, tourism, aviation, social welfare, and SME growth. Governor reported major gains in healthcare, including the re-engagement of 1,300 retired workers, recruitment of 2,000 new staff, hospital and primary health center upgrades, and progress on the new International Hospital and Diagnostic Center. On education, he reaffirmed that it remains the state's strongest weapon against poverty. Government House correspondent
Speaker, the honorable members of this esteemed House, and other invited guests, today I come before you as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended demands to present to you the estimates of expenditures for the year 2026, which we have aptly titled the People's Budget of Expansion and Growth. Mr. Speaker, In about 2.5 years, we have done a lot across sectors, but we still remain dedicated to expanding on these achievements with the budget we are presenting before the House this afternoon. Government has proposed a total budgetary outlay of 1,390 billion naira only for the 2026 financial year, as against the approved revised provision of 1,650 billion naira only for 2025, representing a decrease of 16% from the 2025 revised budget. The total outlay of 1,390 billion naira is made up of 354 billion 867 million naira for recurrent expenditure, or 25% of the budget, and 1,035 million naira for capital expenditure, representing 75% of the total budget. The allocation of 75% of the total budget to capital expenditure is intentionally meant to accelerate and stimulate economic activities in the state in the 2026 financial year. The capital estimate consists of 387 billion naira for roads and other infrastructure, 31 billion for education, 136 billion for health, amongst others. State government revenue estimates. A total projected revenue, recurrent revenue for 2026 is estimated at 1,146 million naira, as against the revised provision of 1,255 billion naira, representing a 9% decrease in revenue projection for 2026. Revenue recurrent expenditure. For the 2026 fiscal year, recurrent expenditure, which is proposed at 354 billion 866 million naira, is made up of personnel cost 131 billion 152 million naira, overhead cost 223 billion 715 million naira, total recurrent expenditure 354 billion 867 million naira. The total capital receipt and expenditure for the year 2026 is estimated at 1,035 billion naira, as against the approved revised provision of 1,224 billion naira for 2025. A total capital receipt shows that 791 billion 978 million will be transferred from the Consolidated Revenue Fund, while the balance of 243 billion 155 million naira is to be realized from other capital projects. The Honorable Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning and his finance counterpart will, as usual, provide details on the sectoral allocation, so I don't bore this House with that at this time. Let us reiterate that the 2026 People's Budget for Growth and Expansion reflects the request made by the stakeholders of each of the 31 local government areas during our town square meetings to expanding on these achievements.
Government House correspondent Jenua reports that in his response, the Speaker of the House, Udeme Otong, commended the governor for the impact of the Arise agenda, noting that it has brought succor and renewed hope to the people of Akwa Ibom State. He assured that the House will thoroughly scrutinize the budgets to ensure efficient resource allocation and prioritization of projects that uplift the people. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Akwa Ibom State Command, Mohammed Baba Azare, has convened a stakeholder security meeting in the state following the recent upsurge in insecurity in some parts of Nigeria. He also debunked online reports that insurgents and Boko Haram terrorists have infiltrated Akwa Ibom, maintaining that such false reports would end up instilling fear in people. Azare said the meeting, which had in attendance representatives of traditional rulers, religious leaders, market and transport unions, student union, hoteliers, Nigeria Labour Congress, community representatives, and members of the press, was aimed at reviewing the security situation in the state and strengthening collaborative efforts in maintaining peace and stability across all communities. Azare reaffirmed that Akwa Ibom remained peaceful and secure, noting that the command, working closely with sister security agencies, would continue to maintain robust patrols, effective surveillance, and intelligence-driven operations throughout the state. He also expressed concern over the recent spread of fake news and unverified security alerts on social media, which have the potential to cause panic and undermine public confidence, emphasizing the need for communities to take ownership of security by exposing criminal elements, including those involved in armed robbery, cultism, vandalism, drug peddling, and other unlawful activities.
Gather credible stakeholders meeting aimed at reviewing the security situation in Akwa Ibom State and strengthening our collective efforts in maintaining peace, safety, and public confidence across all communities. Akwa Ibom State is widely acknowledged as one of the most peaceful states in the country. This reputation is not accidental. It is the result of deliberate collaboration between the police, our sister security agencies, and the good people of the state. Your support, vigilance, and cooperation have continued to enhance the effectiveness of our operations. Today's meeting is necessitated by two key concerns: the need to sustain and deepen the current peaceful environment within the state, and the recent circulation of fake security messages, rumors, and misinformation capable of causing panic, tension, and unnecessary anxiety among our people. Number one, security situations in the state. Let me emphasize that Akwa Ibom State remains safe and stable. The police command, in synergy with other sister agencies security, in the state and other security outfits in the state, continue to conduct robust patrol, gather credible intelligence, and engage strategically with communities to prevent crime and respond swiftly to threats. Through prompt interventions, diligent investigations, and community-based intelligence, we have been able to record significant successes in preventing violent crimes, tracking criminal hideouts, and arresting offenders. Our tactical teams are active, our surveillance units are functional, and our presence is visible across the state. Number two, the dangers of fake news and misinformation. One of the major emerging threats to peace is the rapid spread of fake news. Recently, we witnessed the circulation of a fake message claiming the movement of terrorists into part of south and north central regions of the country. Although Akwa Ibom State was not mentioned directly, the proximity of some of the affected states generated fear among residents. Let me state categorically clear, without ambiguity, such messages are false, dangerous, and must be completely ignored. They are designed to create fear, undermine security efforts, and distract law-abiding citizens. I urge all stakeholders, traditional institutions, religious bodies, youth groups, community leaders, and the media to help counter misinformation by sharing only verified information from credible security sources. Together, we must protect our communities from panic, rumors, and disruptive narratives. I warmly welcome you all to this.
In their separate responses, some stakeholders appreciated the CP and the command as a whole for their relentless efforts in ensuring peace and safety in the state. They also met key observations and commitments aimed at strengthening security collaboration across the state and unanimously pledged to strengthen collaboration with the police command, improve information sharing, and support all initiatives aimed at sustaining peace and security in the area.
State security or the peaceful nature of the Bible said is something that people outside the state talk about most times. Even while I was driving down here, some students called me from, I think, Bauchi and some other states to ask me for means in which they can, move themselves from that state down here because some of their schools have been closed down in other states. But from the list that I saw online, I never saw any institution in Akwa Ibom State closed down. That goes to show that Akwa Ibom State security is intact.
We, the leaders of this Arewa's People Assembly, that is the northern part of the country that are residing here in the state, I want to assure the people of Akwa Ibom State that we will try our best in every way possible to make sure we assist in securing these very states. We are assuring you of that. We have no any other home than Akwa Ibom State here.
For me, security is everybody's business. And therefore, we have to go around, observe things. The Bangla, people should make his house available, people should report things to him. Our county chairman will announce in the blogs, let people be more open to him so that he can be open to the CP. Workers are on my neck on a number of issues. Today, they were supposed to be in Abuja for an engagement. They should be en route to Abuja. But on Saturday, we had troubling information about around Enugu axis to Obolafo, where some people were blocked for like 2 hours. I saw it on the internet anyway. I don't know how true it was. But with that troubling information, they had to cancel the training that was supposed to take place for labor leaders in Abuja tomorrow. And it is also troubling that in Akwa Ibom, being the east, and then somehow by the corner, we should do everything to continue to say it out, and at the end, Akwa Ibom will be a safe place. Again, I join forces with well-meaning Akwa Ibom to say for the good jobs, keep doing it, and we'll continue to join you.
It's almost done that in my area, the police have been patrolling night and day. And sometimes when they come, they will call to the parties and say, they are around here. I said, thank you very much. So you have done very well in the state. When the media people is out, we will say, oh, my committee. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Let me use this opportunity to thank you on behalf of your personnel that you are putting them on field work. Their attitude still very, not unlike before, in their approaches and the way they talk, and the way they respect people, except a few that are still operating by the spirit that followed them from their family. But the way you are operating has caused us, has helped us, quite a people, to stay calm. And then visitors that come should learn how to respect those that play host to them. I want to thank you, and God bless.
We move now to the foreign scene, where Russia has seen the latest copy of a U.S. plan to end the Ukraine war and views some of it positively, but other points require discussion. In comments to a Russian state TV reporter, Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said the new draft required truly serious analysis and that Russia had not yet discussed it with anyone. Ushakov told a state TV reporter. Washington's latest plan has not yet been published. Recall that U.S. President Donald Trump announced Tuesday that it was a fine-tuned version of an earlier 28-point plan that would have seen Ukraine withdraw from its Donetsk region and cut the size of its army, points that Kiev had criticized. Still on the foreign scene, a Turkish court today sentenced the popular political journalist and commentator to 4 years in prison for threatening President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. According to the MLSA rights group on X, the court sentenced Faith Altayel to 4 years and 2 months in prison. He was arrested in June after discussing a poll showing 70% of the public opposed long-term leader Erdogan becoming president for life. In the video, published on Altayel's YouTube channel, which has 1.7 million subscribers, the journalist said the figure was not particularly surprising in response to a question about the poll.
Mr. Tinubu,
Sir?
this is 29. Oh.
Don't worry, take the news. Roll.
Fine.
Still to come in the news. Guardiola admits rotation gamble backfired in loss to Leverkusen. Stay tuned for details of these stories and more after this time out. Glad to know that you're still with us. Now let's conclude on the rest of our news stories. On our business news, Nigeria has restated its commitment to upholding and advancing global aviation safety regulations as the country's delegation, led by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, joined global leaders at the 42nd Assembly of the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, in Montreal, Canada. This is contained in a statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Communications to the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Tunde Moshood, recounting Nigeria's active role since joining the ICAO Council in 1962. Keyamo highlighted the nation's contributions to international aviation safety and its ratification of major air law instruments, including the Montreal Protocol and amendments to Articles 50A and 56 of the Chicago Convention. He emphasized Nigeria's strengthened bilateral and multilateral ties, including recent air services agreements with Canada, and reaffirmed the nation's advocacy for the Yamoussoukro decision and the single African air transport market. We move now to health, where Nigeria has met 2 of the 3 2030 global HIV targets, indicating significant progress in the country's response to the epidemic and its efforts to improve HIV prevention, testing, and treatment. This was disclosed by the Director General of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, Dr. Temitope Ilori, during a press conference in Abuja. The DG noted that the agency's collaboration with civil society and community-led organizations has further strengthened community systems, expanding access to HIV testing, prevention and treatment services, especially among key populations, adolescents and young people. She said that despite progress, serious challenges persist, including ongoing stigma, discrimination, dependence on external funding, and limited access to services in hard-to-reach areas. In the world of sports, Chelsea recorded a 3-0 victory over Barcelona in their Champions League stage encounter yesterday. The Blues took the lead in the 27th minute after Jules Koundé turned the ball into his own net under pressure from the Chelsea attack. Barcelona's situation worsened just before half-time when Ronald Araujo received a second yellow card and was sent off, leaving the visitors with 10 men. Meanwhile, Chelsea doubled their advantage early in the second half through Estevao, who finished after a defensive error by Frenkie de Jong. The London side sealed the result in the 73rd minute when Liam Delap converted from close range, with VAR confirming the goal. On our entertainment news, Afrobeat singer Ira Starr has confirmed her relocation to New York City to boost her global career. She revealed the news during a recent video interview, stating that the city's resemblance to Lagos made the transition seamless. According to her, New York reminds her of Lagos with its similar energy, speed, and cultural rhythm, admitting to find comfort in the city's African diaspora community. And that's all we have for you at this time. Kindly follow us on all our social media handles and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. My name is Ofonono Joseph. Good afternoon.